Hello, my name is Bryant Miles, and this is my final reflection for my Hort 120 class. This video is a general overview and summary of everything we accomplished in this class. Hort 120 is designed to be an introduction to the basics of multiple design softwares that are either industry-specific or non-industry specific. The first software we looked at was AutoCAD, which is a non-industry specific software, as many different industries utilize this specific design program. We used AutoCAD to recreate a small garden plan by tracing over it with different tools that the software provides. Later, we moved on to a larger master plan of a full landscape. We imported, scaled, drew on, and then printed this landscape. We followed the same process for both Dynascape and Real-Time Landscape Architect. We were introduced to both softwares using a similar process to AutoCAD. We started out on the small garden plan to learn the basics and then moved on to the master plan once we were comfortable. However, with Dynascape, we only did the front portion of the house. The first step in all of the softwares was to import the background image and scale it properly, so it fits a 1-to-1 scale. This is super important in all softwares, as you want real-world measurements for the drawings. Some of our creative freedom in designing these landscapes was taken away, but it allowed us to focus on the tools of the software. This can lead to the concept of intuitive adaptation, which is essentially taking what you've learned from one software and comparing it to the process of using a different one. One example of this is the scaling and the drawing in different softwares. Each had a different process, and we could get a feel on how it's different. Doing the same drawing multiple times, we could see different ways to accomplish the same task. We also looked at Real-Time Landscape Photo, which allows for 2D drawings of landscapes to be done. SketchUp is another design software that we use, and we use traditional modeling to recreate 3D landscapes from a 2D drawing. Both of these used a scaled background image. A unique software that we used was ThingLink, which can be used to demonstrate changes in the landscape through 360 views or using transition points to traverse a landscape. Throughout this course, I was constantly learning new things. I've used AutoCAD in the past, but never in a landscaping way, and I was introduced to new ways to design objects in the software. Real-Time Landscape Architect is an amazing software that has become my favorite landscape design software just because of the sheer amount of creativity that is possible with it. Even some of the non-industry specific softwares are programs I never thought I would use. ThingLink is incredibly helpful, and SketchUp is used by many engineering and design firms across the country. All of this also helps me stand out more on resumes, as not many people have experience with this many design programs. 3 key things I learned from this course were the importance of 1-to-1 scaling, knowing the difference between trees and shrubs in design, and the importance of layers. In past drafting classes, I was never given the option to draw over images, and instead had to use measurements provided to me to draw the object. After learning about scaling background images, the drawing process now goes by exponentially faster and is much more accurate compared to using formulas to figure out missing dimensions. The difference between trees and shrubs sounds like a small thing, but is very important in softwares like Dynascape. Each object has its own shape and its specific size, and it's important to keep track of what's what to not get confused. Something that helps with this is the layers. I've used layers in the past, but never to this extent. It is so much easier to be organized when everything is on its layer and everything is color coordinated. You can see what everything is, or what might be messed up, and fix these mistakes without messing up the entire drawing. Knowing how to finish a drawing and provide a correct title block with this plant list is another key thing that this course has provided me with. This, along with scaling, allows me to be able to provide accurate drawings to clients. One thing that still confuses me, though, is moving objects in Dynascape. It is already a very complicated process, and it just doesn't make sense as to why I can't just click and drag the object. Coming into this course, I did not expect to use so many different design programs. I expected to use something like AutoCAD or something similar to it throughout the semester and doing multiple different landscapes with complex designs. Now, I have experience with AutoCAD and other softwares that were not used in this course, but it was definitely a surprise to end up using so many different design programs with the same 2 landscapes, but it was nice. I was excited to use AutoCAD. It is one that I'm comfortable with, but I'm also glad I was introduced to different design programs like Real-Time Landscape Architect, which is a great landscape design software that has many different features available that make it unique. Dynascape is another software that I'm glad I'm introduced to. It's a complicated one, but it's a great professional software. It provides plant lists and has trees and shrubs provided on it. It also kind of reminds me of AutoCAD. Now that the semester is nearly at its end, I'm glad that I've taken this class and I've learned a lot throughout the semester. My favorite software by far is Real-Time Landscape Architect. I've mentioned it previously, but it's a unique software that has a lot of different features. The ability to view landscapes from a 2D and a 3D perspective is game-changing. Being able to do hardscapes and the plant beds in a 2D setting and then placing trees in a 3D is an amazing feature. In the 3D page, the sun direction can be changed to see how shadows affect the landscape. You can see areas in day and night cycles and use camera paths to highlight areas in the landscape. The immense object library is also a huge plus, as you can use the object library to place objects in the landscape and see how everything looks. This is also the most cost-effective option out there compared to the other programs. In conclusion, Hort 120 has been a great learning experience, and I got to learn about a variety of softwares and how they compare to others. This helped me determine which ones I like the best, which is, of course, Real-Time Landscape Architect. But I'm now familiar with other softwares in case I get a job opportunity that requires that software. Learning different techniques that can help me save time and be organized is another plus of this class. I look forward to taking what I've learned and applying it to my future career. Thank you for watching and following along with my progress throughout the semester.